Joel SMETS, the World Championship begins in 2 hours, less than 2 hours time for you. You're feeling confident about this year?
Yeah, it's just another year, and it's different from, let's say, from '96 when I was the world champion, the '95 world champion. That time I really had a feeling like everybody was watching me, and I had to win every race because I was the number one. But yeah, and it feels different now. I'm the number one, but I don't have the feeling everybody's watching me anymore. You know, I'm feeling more relaxed, and I remember when I went to the first GP in '96 with the number one on my bike, I felt like, Jesus, everybody's watching me and I have to win this race because I'm the number one. And yeah, like this weekend, I have different feeling. I'm feeling like I'm out here to have fun and to try to keep, of course, my number one plate, but the decision isn't being taken today. So I feel more relaxed, yeah.
Well, we've heard from the Weltmeister, that's what he thinks about keeping the number one plate. But of course, there are others that might well want to take it back, Shane King being one of them.
World champion in '96, want to get that title back for '98?
Oh, definitely, most definitely. That's my goal this year, to try and aim for that number one plate, but I'm just taking it race by race. I'm enjoying my riding at the moment, and you know, it's going to definitely continue on to the end of the season, so I'm just enjoying myself, you know, like the bikes, we've got a new bike, the new KTM, it's fantastic, and you know, we've been doing a lot of work through the winter and doing a lot more training than usual, and just got that fire back inside me again. So you know, it's going to be a tougher year with the Yamaha team being stronger than ever, and the Husqvarna and the Husaberg team being strong, and a lot of other riders on the semi-factory Yamahas, so it's going to be an interesting year, but I'm just going to enjoy myself and take it race by race.
Well, the one man that he's got to beat, he knows all about him. That's his elder brother, Daryl King, on a very, very quick Husky indeed. And I'm sure he's going to be there at the end of the season.
Factory involvement from Yamaha, Husaberg and Husqvarna. It's a tough championship these days.
Sure, there's a lot of good riders, you know. Both the Yamaha guys are fast, and same with the guys in Husqvarna here. And Joel as well, and Danny Thabers, along with the KTM guys. Man, anyone can be up there at the end of the season.
So your aim is to be world champion, and who do you see as the biggest threats?
It has to be Joel SMETS, really, you know, like he's the man everyone has to beat, I think. He's the strongest and hardest charger, but there'll be a few guys along the way that'll probably be up there in the championship till the end, like Shane and maybe Johansson and Bartolini this year.
Well, we'll soon know who it's going to be. The start of the season, everybody is revved up and ready to go. Nice to see Robbie Herring down there on the new RWJ Silkaleen hybrid Honda. That will certainly set the cat amongst the pigeons. Eyes down, look in, race number one, heat number one, Mantova, Italy, the 500s are away. Who is it going to be to set the scene? Campbell. No, it's not Campbell, it's Boonen that comes out very, very quickly. Bartolini after him, very, very smartly. Daryl King is there. Robbie Herring, nice to see him up on there. That is a new Honda. A lot of work has gone into that machine. It's still in its development stage, but RWJ have certainly given Robbie a nice machine, and I'm sure he'll get that machine flying as it progresses through the year. So Bartolini's in the frame. Joel SMETS a little way back, but it's early time. Robbie Herring and Shane King, well, it shows that he's certainly on the pace of the very, very quick factory bikes as well. The Husabergs and the Huskies, unbelievably quick, and of course the KTMs have got their act together as well. And the YZM 400Fs that we saw last year, over the winter they've made some changes to those machines. They appear to have got the carburation right, and they are very, very quick. That's Bartolini coming up on the outside, and you can just see how incredibly quick that machine is. It handles well, awesome power, gets out of the corners very, very quickly. Then we see Robbie Herring settling down there as well, so he's got himself together. Campbell, the man that was right up the front in the whole shot, Herring has got onto the back of him, but the Yamahas are going to be difficult to beat in 1998. Bartolini, of course, rides the bike very, very quickly, and 500 racing is alive and well, and I'm sure throughout 98 we're going to see some big, big races, and Joel SMETS is going to be left with a lot of work to do if he wants to carry on with the number one plate. He's got Daryl King, Shane King, Bartolini, Van Doorn, Eckenbach, all the heavies are going to be there, and nice to see Robbie Herring waving the Union Jack from RWJ Silkaleen and that very, very quick Honda machine. Well, they've got a year of racing, and that's a long, long slog. You've got to keep on top of accidents. You've got to be there every fortnight and just put the points away. and they all know that Joel SMETS is going to be very, very difficult to beat indeed. That is, of course, if he gets out of the pits, and right now he has a problem, making some urgent trackside adjustment. Bartolini is the man making a charge now. He knows that the end of the race is in sight. Bartolini going well, Daryl King going extremely well, and Robbie Herring has put in an amazing show in this first race at Mandeva in Italy. There's the checkered flag. Bartolini takes first win of the season. It looks to me as if Daryl King, yes it is, Daryl King will take second. Robbie Herring will take third. What a great start to the year. Well, from the podium straight back down to the gate, out they come again. Joel SMETS will have a point to prove. He had a problem in the first race that has cost him dearly. He knows that he's got the number 1 plate to protect, but it's Bartolini and that flying machine, and Robbie Herring again. Are we going to have a carbon copy? This time, of course, they got SMETS in the frame as well. Bartolini came out the gate very, very quickly. Robbie Herring, we've always said he's a great big bike rider, and he has really got that machine up and running at the moment. So it just proves that that machine has the legs. If Robbie can stay out of injury for the year, it could well be his turn at the end of 98. So right now we've got Bartolini up front, Robbie Herring into second, Joel SMETS into third spot. The first heat he had a problem with the throttle by the looks of things. They've done some adjustments. They've got all that sorted out, and he will be back. He needs to get the points week after week. But this man Bartolini on the Yamaha is extremely fast. Robbie Herring has certainly got the speed with that Honda machine, and it'll be interesting to see if Honda carry that project any further and come back with a really interesting 4-stroke in the next couple of years. They know that Yamaha have got it right now. That bike is an absolute flyer. A lot of privateers have gone to that machine. It's incredibly simple to set up. Once you got it right, it seems to run very, very well. So that'll get the privateers up there as well. But right now it's Bartolini, Robbie Herring and SMETS going away. Those three seem to have it together. Robbie Herring wants to have a look down the inside. The track's certainly getting very, very rough indeed now. Herring right on the tail of Bartolini. You're not going to phase the fish. He's been around since 6 years of age, racing almost every weekend of his life. So he's quite happy to run with the best in the world. And there he goes to the front, but Bartolini will want to come back. Robbie Herring, British rider, gone to the front. RWJ Silkaleen, they'll be waving the flags. Robbie Herring leads the 500 Grand Prix in Italy, second heat of the day. Well, what a great start for him. That's the motivation that he needs. But it would appear that he's gone down. Robbie Herring has gone down. SMETS has gone through to the front, no question about that. SMETS has gone to the front. We'll wait to see. Johansson comes through into second spot. So that's a Yamaha into second. Robbie down to sixth. And so to Switzerland for round two. The King brothers just having a quick chat to see what's going on. But down on the line, Boonen, he wants to get down there and get flying. Plenty of mud about today. A lot of overnight rain, and they are down on the line. SMETS comes down to the gate into second. Bartolini, the man leading the championship already after the first win at Montova. But there's mud today, and who's it going to be? Out the gate they come. Wonderful to see this cavalry of 500s. It looks to me as if SMETS has gone to the front. We'll pick up on race numbers. No, it's not. Eckenbach comes scorching out, followed by Daryl King. Where is Robbie Herring, who had such a good ride in Italy and then dropped it right at the last minute? So we've got a whole load of new numbers already. Van Doorn's up there. That's nice to see. Oh, SMETS is a long way back. Well, Eckenbach came out the gate very, very quickly, and he's got himself almost clear of the pack. Daryl King is up there with him. Number 5, Bartolini. He went fine in the first round. Where is Robbie Herring? Pick up and see what we can find, but you can see at the speed that they're riding, it is very, very slippery. There's Robbie Herring surely with the MSR shirt. It's very, very slippery, and even Joel SMETS giving the circuit a lot of respect at the moment. Well, this is going to mix up the points. If Eckenbach can pull off a heat win, that will certainly split the dominance of these Yamahas. A lot of smoke coming out of that Yamaha already. Bartolini and Johansson, those machines are incredibly quick, and I'm sure right throughout 98, SMETS is going to be hounded by those Yamahas. They really have got them together. We saw in Supercross at the end of last year just how quick they were, even in a Supercross situation with Henry. That bike is well put together, and I'm sure it won't be too long before Honda have something in the 4-stroke class to chase it around the world with. Robbie Herring, of course, still running the 2-stroke and very, very quickly as well. But Honda are not going to let Yamaha get too far ahead on the development of a very, very powerful 4-stroke. Well, Boonen certainly has had a very, very good ride indeed. He's had plenty of pressure all around the circuit from that man, Shane King. But it's Daryl King, that's Robbie Herring. It's Daryl King that really has done the business. He knows that the checkered flag is right around the corner. He's just got to keep it together, and he will take the win. It looks to me as if Daryl King is close enough. He will get the checkered flag. Eckenbach right on his tail. And then in third overall, the Yamaha mounted Bartolini must surely take it. Well, he'll be well pleased with that. A good weekend in Mantova a couple of weekends ago, and now he's been in the points on the first heat at Switzerland. Straight back to the line they go, very, very quick indeed. Johansson down there already. Let's see them again. Let's see if Robbie Herring can get it together. He's always been so close. Long straight, they sweep off to the left, and we'll see again. I wonder if it's not Boonen that's got a very, very good start again. We'll pick up SMETS is there this time. Bartolini got a good start. Daryl King's in there as well. Well, we'll just have to see who got the whole shot right at the front. But we certainly know that Joel SMETS is there. Bartolini is there. We need to look to see where the Kings are. Eckenbach, Herring. Let's have a look and see. Number 9, Eckenbach goes past us. So it's Eckenbach. Then it's Joel SMETS. That's a super, super fit man. He can just ride and always makes it look so easy. Bartolini is there as well. Eckenbach looking very, very good. He'll know the lay of the track. He got a second in the first heat of the day, and if he can get a win now, that'll put him in a very, very strong position. But he's got work to do. There's Robbie Herring. He's looking strong at the moment. Number 7, that's Van Dorn, and then Shane King up there as well. Shane King going well at the present time, but it looks as if SMETS is the man that could pull off a win. He wants to keep that number 1 plate. We spoke to him in Mantova in Italy, and he said he's riding a lot more relaxed now. He doesn't have the pressure. He knows what he's got to do weekend after weekend. Almost Everett style, he can just relax, and hopefully he'll keep that number 1 plate. It means a lot to the riders. That's what it's all about, carrying that plate in the World Championship Series. Certainly, Boonen has looked very, very good from the start of the season. Robbie Herring, unfortunately, he dropped it after leading in Italy in the second heat, and that dropped him down quite a long way. But it really does show that Robbie has got the speed with that bike. A lot of development comes from RWJ, and I'm sure a lot of expense as well. The bike is quick. Robbie Herring has just got to keep it pointed in the right direction, and he'll be fine. So Daryl King, he knows that the podium's not too far away for him. He's had a great weekend so far. Bartolini and the Yamahas, they're always going to be there. The checkered flag is there. Joel SMETS has done enough. Joel SMETS will take the win. Well, for round 3, it's only just down the road to Schwanenstadt in Austria, the 500 GP round 3. Mr. Consistency at the moment looks to be Bartolini, but it's a long way to go. A superb circuit here at Austria. Look at the power of these 500s. They come out the gate at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but we'll have to wait and see who is going to get to the front. Dust already, can you believe it? We saw mud last weekend, but it's Eckenbach looking good. Daryl King. Excellent. That's nice to see. Robbie Herring in the top 5. Joel SMETS behind him. Robbie Herring has gone down. Robbie Herring has dropped it. What a shame. He had such a good start. Well, Eckenbach has looked impressive in the first couple of races, and he's just piling up some points. Daryl King looking very, very consistent. But that's the man, Joel SMETS, then Bartolini, then Johansson. We said earlier, in Switzerland, those Yamahas are just not going to go away. They really have produced an outstanding machine, and around the world they are picking up races, race victories, both in motocross and in enduros, and that is the machine of 98, I'm sure, in the big class capacity machines. Number 5, all of a sudden Bartolini's got some pressure. Joel SMETS has got even more pressure. He's got a long way to pull up, so he's going to have to get through those people in front of him very, very quickly indeed. There's dust, there's ruts, there's stones, there's rocks, and they've all got work to do. We're going to watch Bartolini because he has started off the season really being very, very consistent. All of a sudden Johansson has come alive as well, and so has Daryl King and Shane King. But that's the man at the moment. Eckenbach, he's got his whole shots right. He's got just about everything right. He's been up in the first 3 or 4 in the first couple of races, so he knows that he's got a very, very strong chance if he can keep the year together. The King brothers from New Zealand, always strong riders, one on a Husky, one on a KTM. They know what it's all about. They know what it's like to carry the number 1 plate as well. And Bartolini and Yamaha must be very, very hungry for it. They know that the bike is good enough, but they've got to beat Daryl King. They've got to beat SMETS to get there, and they know the checker flag is just around the corner. The lap, the pit crews are out there already, telling them exactly where they are and how much work they've still got to do. Johansson knows he's just about done enough. He's only got a short distance to go. Daryl King wants these points badly. He knows that Husky is certainly on the pace, and he could pick himself up a victory. Time to tell the crowd he's done enough. Daryl King is going to take the win.
Peter, a tough race? Yeah, had a good start. And then on the second lap, Nilsson crashed, and I hit him, so I lost 3 places. And then just to fight back. And the speed is okay, but Daryl ran away in the beginning, and it was not possible to catch him.
And in the last 10 minutes, you gained much ground on?
Yeah, I was gaining, and then I saw Andreas' bike stopped. And then I said maybe better to slow down, so just take 17 points.
Harry Casual, just take 17 points. Nothing wrong with that decision. He knows it's a long, hard season. Race 2, away they go. There's going to be more dust and more ruts, and down they go in the corner. Oh, a pile of bikes have gone down, but Eckenbach is there again. He really has got these starts timed absolutely perfectly. We'll have to see. Shane King is there this time as well. Not sure why SMETS just doing himself a quick U-turn, back down the circuit, and up he goes again, right alongside Robbie Herring. So he's left himself plenty of work to do. I'm not sure why SMETS doesn't get out the gate a little bit quicker, but certainly Eckenbach is very, very quick out of the gate, and so is Shane King, time and time again. And now we've got Van Doorn up there as well. Well, we've really seen some mixed up racing so far in the first 3 rounds. Boonen coming into the frame. He's got it all together as well. So Boonen looking strong, Eckenbach looking amazingly strong. Joel SMETS getting way out of shape here in Switzerland. Number 2, Daryl King, he wants to go up the inside. Says, I've been there before, let's have a look and see what can happen, because Shane King is coming and we've got to keep moving away. Johansson is there. Oh, a problem. Well, what can you do? You can't always have the checkered flag. Oh, look at the ruts and the way that's kicking the back end of those machines around. Daryl King, he knows that it's getting very, very rutted there. Well, down the hill he comes. Somebody has gone missing. Eckenbach goes to the front, and the checkered flag is right around the corner. Eckenbach is going to take the win. Shane King is going to take second, and Joel SMETS a third. And so to Sweden, round 4. Well, Bartolini needs to get some points as well. After the previous weekend, plenty of water has been put down, but that is natural water and the track is reasonably dry. They'll go sweeping into the first corner, round 4 in Sweden. Well, what is it going to be? Eckenbach is not there. Bartolini is there. Well, that's good news. Where is Joel SMETS? Where is Shane King? We're going to find out pretty soon. That's the man. He got himself out of the gate very, very quickly indeed. Second into the first corner, but now he is getting clear of the traffic. Bartolini on that amazingly quick Yamaha has gone to the front. Well, Bartolini might be happy, but his pits will tell him very, very quickly that Joel SMETS is coming in a hurry. Joel SMETS knows what he's got to do, and of course Boonen is coming as well. They're quite happy to bash past as well. Eckenbach and Daryl King, two of them go away up the hill, but they're still chasing after that man, Bartolini, in Sweden. Can he take the first race of the day? They would be very, very valuable points. Joel SMETS knows that he's not going to be on the leaderboard. Bartolini is going to take the win. I'm quite sure that Joel SMETS is going to come across the line into second, Johansson into third, and that gives Yamaha a first and a third. Can't be bad. Well, just enough time to wash and polish, and straight back down to the line. Bartolini is there and Van Duren side by side, but will they be side by side in the first turn? Again, the green machine is there. Always the Huskies, they come out of the gate lightning fast. We've seen them in 4 rounds already, but the Husaberg is there as well. So it's the 4-stroke Yummy gone to the front. Mr. Bartolini, followed by Joel SMETS. This is the Joel SMETS that we know all about. He really has not been getting out the gate quickly at all. All of a sudden he's come to light and he's looking very, very much more impressive. Yamaha front, Husaberg second, Yamaha third. Then it's Daryl King. Well, Joel SMETS now has really got himself on the gas in this race. The second heat in the 4th round of the World Championships at Sweden. But he's still got these Yamahas to sort out, and they are like mosquitoes. They refuse to go away. Every time you look back, there's either a Bartolini or a Johansson. And if you're trying to win a World Championship, I guess that's kind of aggravating. So Joel SMETS has had an outstanding ride. So has Daryl King. So has Shane King. And Joel SMETS knows he's done enough. He's just got to get around one more corner. The fans are already on their feet. Joel SMETS, nice to see him and nice to know the checkered flag is there. Up on the seat he goes. The victory salute from Joel SMETS. Isn't that great? Bartolini will go through into second spot. Has a quick look behind. He's done enough as well, and so to the podium. And so from Sweden to Finland for round 5, Robbie Herring. He's in great form. Very, very quick in qualifying, but qualifying is over and down to the line they go. Heat number 1 in Finland. Who is it going to be? Look for the green machines again. Well, we'll see. Some interesting bikes have got the whole shot this year. Well, James Marsh on a KTM. They all talk about brute horsepower. 360 KTM into the corner first. Then he's got Joel SMETS behind him. Then he's got the marauding pack. There's Joel SMETS up to the front very, very quickly. So SMETS, Bartolini, that's what it's been all about in the first 4 Grand Prix of the year. SMETS wants that plate desperately. Daryl King would like to get it back again. James Marsh looking good. That's the man that got the whole shot. But that's the man leading the race. Difficult conditions. They're not overly easy. Circuit is very, very sandy indeed. Joel SMETS making it look good. I must say he didn't look too happy in the mud in earlier rounds, but he's here to pick up his pace in Sweden, and now today he certainly is going very, very well indeed. Where is Robbie Herring? That's what we want to know. He looked great earlier in the day, and he should be up there with the front runners. He knows the bike's got the pace. There he is. That's the fish. He's got plenty of work to do. Joel SMETS, number 1 plate holder. Great job of work for Husaberg, but again, those Yamahas are there. We saw them introduced in 1997, and they, a lot of people were fairly nervous as to what they could do, but Yamaha certainly flew the flag and showed the whole world that they could produce a wonderful 4-stroke. Great machine, and Bartolini and Johansson have been a big part in their marketing plans, I'm sure. The checkered flag once again for Joel SMETS, second place to Bartolini, so that will keep him well up on the leaderboard. But all he's got to think about now is getting back down to the gate, for round number 2. Who is it going to be? Well, we'll see if SMETS can get another hole shot, because if he gets out in front, he's very, very difficult to catch indeed. But James Marsh again, this really is a joke. People talk about horsepower and the KTMs only being 360s against some of the 500s, but it just shows how quickly that bike comes out of the gate. Somebody there doing the leopard crawl all over the circuit. You don't want to get hit by those bikes. That will give you a serious clout. Well, James Marsh got a wonderful hole shot. That's the second time he's done that today, and it just shows the speed of that KTM. Right now, Joel SMETS, the man that is leading at the present time. He had a great win in the first race, a couple of weekends of very, very good riding, and Joel SMETS is showing us again in Finland why he carries the #1 plate. Bartolini has never been far away. Johansson this time is the man on the Yamaha that is starting to hound and harass him all the way around the circuit. But Bartolini needs to keep up the pressure. The King brothers, they need to keep up plenty of pressure. And of course, Eckenbach started the series, or the World Championship series for 98 very, very quickly. He's got to keep up the pace as well. And of course, so has Van Doorn. Right now, it's SMETS. Behind him is Johansson. And then it's Shane King. Then it's brother, that's Daryl King. And then Robbie Herring. But he's got too much work to do. First couple of races of the year, Robbie looked very, very quick indeed. Well, Bartolini has thrown it away, so that's not going to help his chances at all. Joel SMETS is now beginning to pick up points weekend after weekend. Bartolini was so close after the first couple of rounds. He's now left it to his teammate Johansson to go chasing after Joel SMETS, but too little too late. Joel SMETS takes the win in round number 2 at Finland. And then the next man to come over, there he is, number 6, Johansson. He will take second, a quick wash and polish, and that's it for the day. And so to round 6 in Spain. We've seen so much rain here over the years, but today, reasonably blue sky, a little bit of dust. Heat number 1 is up and running. Joel SMETS has gone to the front, but Eckenbach is back again. That's good to see. Well, Joel SMETS came out the gate very, very quickly, and the man that has had some lightning starts, Eckenbach, was right there with him, but Eckenbach has gone missing for the moment, and I'm sure it's Bartolini. It looked to me like Bartolini that went into second very, very quickly. Well, we spoke about the rain in Spain, but this is dust. Oh, Joel SMETS has dropped it. Joel SMETS just leaned over and the bike slid away. Bartolini has gone to the front. That could recover him some very, very valuable points. He made a bit of a pig's dinner of it in Finland, but now, with Joel SMETS having dropped it, Bartolini, these are very, very valuable points for the Yamaha factory, and of course for Bartolini and Johansson, who have done a great job of work in helping the Yamaha people with their marketing plans. But they've got Eckenbach there as well. Robbie Herring looking very, very relaxed. He has really had a good start to the year. If he can just piece a couple of these races together, that's the man out of the gate like a rabbit. Eckenbach, Daryl King is up there. Daryl King, well, they've got work to do. SMETS and Bartolini are starting to pull away from the rest of the field overall. That is Bartolini looking very, very efficient at the moment. Joel SMETS cost him some time. He laid it down on the corner. He recovered the bike very, very quickly. 3 or 4 people went through, and that's left him just, I think, too much work to do. There he is now. Joel SMETS is there. The fish is right behind him. But Bartolini, well, he's going ahead very, very quickly, and so is Daryl King, and so is Eckenbach. Those Husqvarna machines are certainly very, very quick indeed. We saw at the beginning of the season there was nothing to touch them out of the gate. Then all of a sudden we saw James Marsh and the KTMs come alive. But that's it, Bartolini and Yamaha. Another win for them. He wants to look back and see who's second over the line. That's Daryl King. And third place to Joel SMETS. Straight back down to the line, heat number 2 in Spain. Can Joel SMETS recover from a third? Plenty of dust. This is brute horsepower going into the first corners. That's SMETS. SMETS is still there. I think Eckenbach might be up there with him as well. Daryl King looks to be there. Robbie Herring Can you believe? Isn't that good to see? Joel Smets out the gate very, very quickly. Robbie Herring pounced onto the back of him. Then it's Eckenbach. Daryl King is up there as well. Bartolini, winner of the first race, down in 5th or 6th spot only at the moment. Wouldn't it nice to see Robbie Herring pull a win out of the hat? He was so close earlier in the season. Dropped it on the very, very last lap, and that cost him dearly. But right now, it's a whole different place. It's Spain. Plenty of dust. And up front, from the start, Joel Smets got the whole shot. Robbie Herring, RWJ Silkeleen, riding out of Britain, tucked in behind him and doing very, very well indeed. That bike is certainly just as quick as the very, very fastest factory bikes we've seen. And if anybody can ride a 500, it's Rob Herring. Bartolini starting to pick off and get through the pack, but I don't know if he's going to be quick enough. He won the first heat. Joel Smets was third. Now the race order has reversed. Joel Smets is first, and Bartolini is in either 4th or 5th position at the present time. Well, a win to Joel Smets. That will keep him up where he belongs. A 2nd spot to Bartolini. Well, he's had a great day, and so is the man behind him. Robbie Herring, 3rd overall. Can't be bad. Let's head for Lockett and in the Czech Republic, round 7 of the 500 GP. It's all been about Smets and Bartolini. Robbie Herring is so hungry for a win. They come out of the gate. Heat number 1. Who is it going to be? Eckenbach again? No, Boonen. Boonen has got it. We've just come to expect Eckenbach to be there in the first corner. Boonen gets the whole shot, and a great one it was. A rider has gone down. We'll just wait and see exactly who that is. Bartolini, 2nd to last. Well, he's got a huge amount to do. Boonen up front. Smets into 2nd. Then one of the Kings. That's Daryl King up there. Then Johansson. Oh, they've got work to do. Shane King is there with them as well. But they have got a lot of work to do. Bartolini right at the back of the circuit. Whether he came together with somebody or not, I don't know. But he is a long way back. Bartolini and Smets have been running shoulder to shoulder through the championship. Robbie Herring goes down. Well, just when he needs some very valuable points, he's been keeping up there with the top 5 so far. This is the 7th event. Joel Smets starting to just edge away slowly, slowly in the overall points position. And if he can just keep clear of Bartolini, and right now he's well clear of Bartolini, he might have Johansson hound him around the circuit, but the man that could do the damage is Bartolini. And that's what we seem to see every weekend. Bartolini is there pressurizing Joel Smets to make a mistake, but the man that is Ronnie Robot, he's the man that's racking up the points all the time. Low profile, doing a good job of work. Daryl King's the man. He is always there, weekend after weekend, and if he just keeps chipping away the way he's going at the weekend, well, you might have crash and flash. You've got Joel Smets looking sensational. Bartolini's delivering the results, but Daryl King, when you start doing the arithmetic, is going to be very, very close all the way through. Johansson, of course, he can take a race win on any of his good days. Bartolini seems to have been quicker than him in most races, but on a good day, Johansson is quite capable of running neck and neck with any of the top 4 riders in the world. So is Boonen. Well, Boonen getting better and better. Van Doorn looking good. As for Eckenbach, if he could just piece them together, we'd see a great, great rider coming out of Eckenbach. Lockett in the Czech Republic, round 7. They know that the season has got a long way to go. We've seen mud and rain and slush, and I'm sure before the season's over we're going to see more. Hand in the air, Joel Smets has done enough again. He is going to take a very, very valuable 1st overall, get himself back down to the line and try and do it all over again. Where's Eckenbach? Where's Marsh? Where are the whole shot specialists? Johansson, he comes out like a rocket ship. That's good to see. Joel Smets is there again. Bartolini, much, much better start. He had a problem in the first race. He's got himself up and running again. Robbie Herring dropped it in the first heat of the day. Now all of a sudden it's the turn of Johansson and King and Smets. Well, it's all about finishing every single race in the top 4, and then you get points on the board and a whole pile of loot in the bank. Joel SMETS, winner of the first heat here today. Now he's got Eckenbach on his tail. He's got Daryl King there as well. That's why we say Daryl King, not the most flamboyant rider, but he seems to pick up points every single weekend. And come the end of the season, that's what it's all about. Bartolini has been quicker, but he's dropped it. He's made mistakes. He's had the odd mechanical problem to live with. And Daryl King could well be there at the end of the season when they come to awarding the #1 plate. But first you've got to beat that man. Joel SMETS looking behind him. He's got it well under control. He knows exactly what he's got to do. He knows that Johansson is coming quickly, but he knows that the King brothers are there as well. Just got to keep his head down. He's got to get to the finish line. He really does make it look so easy. That big Husaberg, that cannot be the easiest bike in the world to ride. Huge horsepower, completely different riding style altogether. Checkered flag comes out. He's done enough. That's the man, Joel SMETS. Second spot will go to Daryl King. Great ride from him. More points on the board. So in the second heat of the day, SMETS is going to take the win. Daryl King into second, and Johansson goes into third. And so to round 8 in Slovakia. Joel SMETS looking bright and shiny. Daryl King up alongside him. Bartolini looking fresh and hungry. Johansson is down there as well. I'm sure Robbie Herring is in there somewhere. Well, they've done a lot of preparation on this circuit. The gate goes down and away they go. Look for the luminous yellow. 1, 2, 3. Up the hill they go. Well, never mind Husky making sewing machines. They make damn fine motocross bikes as well. Joel SMETS is there. He runs too wide. Daryl King dives to the inside. A pile of bikes seem to have stopped or gone down behind them, but one man goes to the front. Daryl King. Joel SMETS behind him. Then it looks to be like Eckenbach is there. He's flying the flag as well. He's doing a great job. Well, Shane King has left himself some work to do. Number 5, Bartolini's left himself even more work to do. So right now, Daryl King, wouldn't it be great to see him have a win and start mixing up the points a bit? Eckenbach, I don't know what that fellow does. One weekend he's on fire, and the next weekend he's a damn squib. Comes out the gate incredibly quickly and just doesn't seem to get through to the finishing line. That man does get through to the finishing line, and so does the bike that he's riding. But Daryl King, Husky mounted, Joel SMETS right behind him. Then it's Eckenbach. Luminous yellow, 1, 2, 3. Well, look at this. Eckenbach wants to dive inside. The two Husky riders side by side at the moment. They've certainly got that machine together. We've seen what they're doing in the 125 class as well. Somebody knows what they're doing in the engineering side of Husky, and they're making it look so easy. A really small factory by comparison to the great Japanese factories. But right now, Joel SMETS is the man that's flying the flag. Here in Slovakia, round number 8. SMETS has gone to the front. Bartolini to second. Daryl King with a gearbox problem. He has slowed up tremendously. And then Eckenbach piling on the points at the moment. And then Van Duren, that's nice to see. Well, that's not so good to see. That is the man, Daryl King, with a problem. It appears he can't get any gearbox selection whatsoever, so he's just going to have to circulate, and his race is run. What a great shame. He came out of the gate looking so good, but it's all about Bartolini at the moment. He has gone to the front. Joel SMETS has gone to second, and then into third spot, Eckenbach. Well, this is certainly been one of the best 500 races so far this year. Checkered flag there for Bartolini and the Yamaha. A good ride goes to him, and valuable points indeed. Joel SMETS will go to second. Good enough for him. And third place man, Eckenbach, back on the podium. Well, that's fine for the first heat of the day, but there's still another race to come. And of course, Daryl King will be back with a vengeance. Let's get them back on the line for heat number 2. Heads down, away they go again. Second heat of the day, the 500s. Who is it going to be? Oh, look at the pushing and shoving and the dust as well. Well, it looks to me like Eckenbach, that's my man. The whole shot King ahead of Bartolini, ahead of Shane King this time by the looks of things. Joel Smets down into 4th place at the moment, but you can be sure before the race is over that he will take care of that, and Joel Smets will certainly not finish in 4th place, I'm sure. So Eckenbach up and flying. Bartolini dives on the inside, and the crowd love it. Up the hill they go. The power of those 4 strokes. Eckenbach not getting phased at all. We said earlier if he could just get himself out of the gate and then put in 40 minutes of racing, Eckenbach is the man to put your money on, and right now he's doing a great job indeed. 3rd spot, Shane King. Behind him, the Weltmeister, number 1, Joel Smets. Well, they're certainly mixing up the points weekend after weekend, and that's good for racing because the 500 class really has come alive. I think partly through the introduction of the big 4 strokes from Yamaha. We feel very confident that Honda will follow that with something maybe for the year 2000, but worldwide 500 racing is alive and well, and that's a good sign. So Eckenbach with plenty of work. Joel Smets now starting to pile on the pressure. He knows these are valuable points mid-season, 2/3 of the way through the season. He's got work to do. He cannot go back. So Bartolini will want the race win. He knows that Joel Smets is never far away, and he knows that Eckenbach is having a really good day here in Slovakia. Oh, Joel Smets goes down. He's got to get that bike up, keep it running. Nobody has passed him yet. Well, that's what happens. Eckenbach goes straight back to the front. Joel Smets, then behind Joel Smets is Daryl King, and that will mix it up all over again. We'll have a look. Bartolini must take the win. Bartolini takes another win. Joel Smets goes to 2nd, and Eckenbach to 3rd. And so to France, the 500 war continues. Well, it's anybody's race this year. Smets is putting in a good trot. So is King. So is Bartolini. Eckenbach has looked good. The gate drops away. They go. Look for the Huskies. See if Eckenbach can do it again. I don't think so. Somebody has got ahead of him. But in the 2nd corner, ho-ho! Eckenbach is there. Husqvarna is there. Joel Smets is there. It looks to me like Daryl King is there as well. That will certainly mix things up a bit. Daryl King is certainly there. Where is Robbie Herring? Bartolini is up with the top 6. I didn't see Robbie go through. I know that Smets is certainly on the gas. Daryl King, really, he is like Ronnie Robot. He never makes a fuss or a performance, but he's there weekend after weekend. And when you start doing the adding up, you keep seeing the name of the New Zealander. Not only can they play rugby, but they're not bad at motocross as well. Where is Robbie Herring? Joel Smets, up and over he will go. This track in France looks good. Doesn't look as if it's had that much preparation, but maybe that's good enough to have a natural terrain circuit. Certainly there's plenty of uphills and downhills, all running very close to the picket fence. They've obviously got their own line that they enjoy. The riders know exactly where to go up and down. You see them at Fox Hill year after year. They pick up some extraordinary lines and run right on the tape to try and find some smooth track. There is Bartolini, but he is a fair way back. So Bartolini with plenty of work to do. Joel Smets, well, the crowd just love it. Very popular rider indeed. Big Huserberg, gets the power down to the ground, gets on with the job. He's a big man, and he handles that bike very well. Daryl King into 2nd, Bartolini into 3rd, and really, it's anybody's year. Eckenbach is looking so good. If he can just piece a few rides together, he will be right up there with the race leaders. But it's all about Smets, Bartolini, and of course Daryl King. Those are the 3 weekend after weekend that have done it. Joel Smets has done it again, hand raised. All he's got to do is wait for the 2nd heat. So Joel Smets takes the win in heat number 1. Daryl King goes through into 2nd, and Bartolini on the Yamaha into 3rd. Back down to the gate smartly they go. Can they do it all over again? Look for the luminous yellow. No, it's not. Almost a carbon copy of the first start. By the next corner, we're going to see a whole different race emerging, I'm sure. Joel SMETS is right up onto the tail of the man that got the whole shot, and the man that got the whole shot was Erwin Mattlinger. A great whole shot, and he's still there. Well, that will please the Mattlinger family. Joel SMETS now thinking, well, I better get past this fellow. I need World Championship points. This is round number 9. I've been doing okay so far, and I've just got to keep the Bartolini man behind me and Daryl King behind me, and of course Johansson. He can upset the things as well. There is Johansson. Well, Erwin Mattlinger, he thinks it's time to go showboating. He's right in front of the local fans. He's got the world champion behind him, and he says, Mum, you better take a couple of photographs of this. I'm leading the French Grand Prix. You might never see this photograph again. So take the whole spool. Ah! And down he goes. Well, mother better not take photographs of that. Mattlinger goes down. Joel SMETS has gone to the front convincingly, and I'm sure now he will start pulling. But behind him, Daryl King coming in a hurry. Johansson coming in a hurry. You don't mess with these guys. They are big and strong. They ride 500cc machines every single weekend. They are a mighty handful. I think that's why Robbie Herring loves them to pieces. So now Mattlinger has suddenly got all of them right up on his rear fender, and he's going to have to ride his head off to try and keep these guys behind him. Up front, Joel SMETS making it look good. Round number 9 in France. Johansson not been there often enough. Joel SMETS, another victory. Well, he's done enough. He will be a happy chap for the weekend. Salutes the crowd. And so to Belgium for round 10 of the 500s at Namur. This is what will sort the men from the boys. They normally get into some pretty difficult tracks. And Marsh is there again. Marsh with a 360 KTM just nudged his way through to the front. This is good to see, but there's a whole gaggle of different riders this time, and you are going to see the Belgium flags come out. This is their national sport. They just love their motocross. Eckenbach is there again. Bartolini. Everts on a 500. What are we seeing now? Stefan Everts, the reigning 250 world champion, in front of his home crowd. That is Everts, 111. That's a good number to have. So he is on a 500, presumably just for the day, just to get everybody stoked up and excited and sell a whole lot of lager at the halfway mark. You can hear in the background Stefan Everts, they're already cheering. There he goes, the 250 world champion. Well, can he do it on a 500? That will be interesting. Maybe he'll represent him in the Des Nations on a 500 this year. Well, the hooters are out, the horns are out. That is the local hero. Whether it's on a 125, a 250 or a 500, Everts is king. Everts takes the race win. What a start to the day. And so from Belgium to Holland for round 11, and we need to catch up with the latest action.
Well, I can only do the best I can, you know. It's probably going to be very difficult to get the championship from Joel now. He's got a big points lead, so yeah, just go out and have some fun on this track. It's going to be demanding on the body. There's a lot of jumps. I think there's 19 jumps every lap, and the heat as well is going to be a big factor. So just be as strong as I can, you know, and go for the win in the first race like I always want to, and that's when. And in the second race, just be strong. Finish top 3 if I can.
Let's hear what Joel SMETS thinks.
51 points in the lead. You could wrap this up in the first race if all things go well. Are you going for the win or are you going for the points today?
Let's say both. I try every race to win, so and I will do the same. My goal is the same thing. It's the same today. When I'm behind the gate, I try to get out of the gate as soon as possible and try to win. But if I can't win, I can live with it. And if I can't win, I will, of course, think about the points.
Well, the penultimate round is with us. Joel SMETS, Daryl King. Who is it going to be? Can SMETS wrap it up today? Into the first turn they go. SMETS knows exactly what he's got to do. He's done the arithmetic over and over again. There's a world championship at stake for Husaberg and for Joel Smets. There he is out in front, looking supremely confident. The only man that can give him any concern is going to be Daryl King. There is Daryl King down in fourth at the moment. But again, he knows what he's got to do. He's got to work away, chip away. If Joel Smets makes any sort of a mistake, or if his bike should let him down, and it hasn't done that too often this year, either of them could come through. But Smets looking very, very good in Holland, in the sand. First heat of the day. He's got to get through 2 punishing heats. Daryl King knows that he's just got to do a job of work, keep it together. His pits will be telling him every single lap exactly where Joel Smets is, and they'll both know what each of the other are doing. Well, Johansson, he's had a pretty good season so far, but it's too little too late. That's the man that could mix it all up. We heard from both riders at the beginning of the race today. Daryl King said he thinks he's left it too late. Joel Smets says he's relaxed, and he thinks he can pull it off today. Johansson, he'll live to fight another day. 1 round remains after this. And, of course, Smets could go home tonight, the world champion. But who knows? Number 7, Van Duyn, he's had himself a good year. Eckenbach's had a good year. But it's all about that man. He knows he's done enough. He's won heat number 1. Johansson is going to take second, and Daryl King is going to take a third. It makes Smets a step closer, but he's not there yet. Heat number 2, down to the line. This could decide the 1998 World Championship. Look for plate number 1. Look for the luminous yellow. Look for the Husaberg. Well, they certainly saw luminous yellow, but who is it? That's the man, Joel Smets. When you're on a high, you're on a high. But this time, Daryl King right behind him. Robbie Herring into third. That's good to see. Number 7, Van Duyn, well out of the gate. Smets, when it gets sandy, is absolutely unstoppable. The beginning of the season, he really didn't look happy in the mud and the slush and the rain. But put him on a circuit like this, and Smets is almost in a class of his own. He looks super, super powerful. But don't write off Daryl King. He's been there before. He knows what it's all about. Robbie Herring looking better and better on a big 500. And I'm sure he'll be wanting to ride in the Des Nations on a 500. Whether, of course, he gets selected, we'll have to wait and see. But that certainly is the one Brit that could represent the country in the Des Nations on a big bike. Right now, it's all about 2 men. Smets up front, Daryl King in second. The Belgian flags are up. They know he's done enough. They've got the Rockets and the Belgians. They've got their special music. They're holding the crowd back. Joel Smets has done enough. Smets takes the world title.
Joel, quick word. World champion 3 times. How do you feel after today?
Just as good as after my first time. It's the first time in my career I can keep the number 1 plate on my bike. I've won a world title now with the number 3 plate on my bike, with the number 2 plate, and with the number 1 plate on my bike. It's wonderful.
And so to the last round in Germany. It's all over. Smets is the new world champion. Well, bit of an anticlimax, but he's ridden hard throughout the year. Who is going to get into second slot? Daryl King, by the arithmetic, must surely be uncatchable. Bartolini has gone out with a broken femur, so that is his year come and gone, and he had such a good year. Johansson, of course, is still up on the board. Eckenbach, well, I can't say enough about that rider. He really has had a good year. And, of course, Robbie Herring has still got a few points to settle with the rest of the riders. That's him. Number 1, Joel Smets, the new world champion. Number 1 plate for 1999. He will carry that up to the time of the millennium. There's an exciting thought. Robbie Herring, I'm sure, will be back next year, right up in the top 3 on an even quicker 500, because RWJ and Silkeleen will not rest on their laurels. They know that they are so close with the bike. If Robbie can just up his pace a fraction, he's going to be right up there with the top 3. And wouldn't it be nice to see Robbie Herring back with a number 1 plate and riding in the UK with that? So we'll have to wait and see. Right now, Joel SMETS doing what he knows best. He's shown the crowds all around the world in 1998 just how good he is. He beat Daryl King. It went right to the 11th round before he finally put it to bed. But he had done enough. Daryl King is going to have to be content with second. And Joel SMETS knows that he is the new world champion for 1998. Robbie Herring still just slotting in the points there. He certainly has had a very, very good year since switching to the big bike. But that is the man that they've all come to acclaim. He is certainly relaxed today. He knows the money's in the bank, or very close to being in the bank. He's done a great job of work for Husaberg, all the circuits around. We said earlier he started off looking a little shaky in the mud, but as the tracks dried out, he's just got quicker and quicker, and he's been there every single weekend. Eckenbach, nothing wrong with his performance for the year, and Johansson, of course, on that very, very quick 4-stroke Yamaha, has put on a great display of riding. Then we see Van Duyn behind him, and this will be the last weekend of racing for Van Duyn. He has decided to hang up his boots, so to speak, and I'm sure he'll come out of the woodwork in the form of management somewhere later on in the year. But right now, it's all about that man, Joel SMETS and Husaberg. What a great, great job they've done together. The might of the Japanese could not keep them at bay. They've got the number 1 plate, they've got the World Championship, and Joel SMETS, you can't get better than that. Up the wheel goes. He really has now put it all to bed quite nicely. Johansson, a job well done for Yamaha. And then Van Duyn says, just as I decide to retire, things get better. Down to the line, last race of the season for all of them. Hopefully accidents will be barred. Joel SMETS will be wanting to put on a display just to show everybody why he's got the number 1 plate. That's normally when it all goes wrong, but it's the man, Eckenbach, up front yet again. He really has been amazing with his whole shots. And then into the 3rd spot goes Shane King. Joel SMETS slots in his 2nd spot, and Robbie Herring is up there with the race leaders yet again. Joel SMETS, the winner of heat number 1 today, the new world champion. Robbie's pit board's going out from RWJ, telling him exactly what he's got to do. He wants to pick up valuable points for the overall table for the year, but it's too late. This is the final round here in Germany. It's too late for Eckenbach, it's too late for Shane King, and it's too late for everybody else except Joel SMETS and Husaberg. There he is, some great pictures now. He said earlier that he's very, very relaxed indeed. He should be now. He knows that he's got the crown. He will certainly have a very strong contract, I'm sure, for 1999, and he's done everything correct. Out goes Shane King, another likable New Zealander, brother to Daryl King. The two of them campaign hard in Europe, long way from home, but they put on a great display of riding, and two very, very popular brothers within the motocross world. Well, Robbie Herring, he's been there every single weekend. He came so close at the beginning of the season to picking up an overall win. Well, Joel SMETS just dropped to the bottom of that hill, but I'm sure he couldn't care too much about that. He was having fun, waving to the crowd. He is the new world champion, Joel SMETS, on his legendary Husaberg. He has really done so, so well. Now, all of a sudden, it's the turn of Eckenbach to delight the crowd, and he has ridden a very, very good series of races throughout 98. That's the man that I could well put my money on for next year, but that's the man that he's got to beat. Joel SMETS, a big, big man with a big, big heart. Eckenbach now starting to wave to the crowd. It's just about all over. The checkered flag is there. Eckenbach takes the win. That man will be back. They will salute Joel SMETS. The season is over for the 500 GPs. Joel SMETS is the new winner. And a great season we've all had.